Alright fam, welcome back to Hot Topics TV. If you've never been here before, just go ahead and hit that subscribe button and click the bell next to the subscribe button so you're notified every time a new video goes up on Hot Topics TV or every time we update a story that we have covered on Hot Topics TV. Let's get right into this story. First of all, let me say I hope this never happens to you or your family or any of your close family members. I want to tell everybody out there that the summer is up on us. We're planning on turning up and living life to the fullest. For summer 2023, we're going to make it a summer to remember because we appreciate life. But in the meantime, I want you, especially those of you who are really young out there, to remember, keep your circle tight. But not only keep your circle tight, pay attention to who it is you are around. Pay attention to who it is you are trusting to spend time with, because everybody don't have your best intentions at heart, right? And there's people out here who will do bad things to you just for fun. And that'll be the end of you, and they'll keep on living life like nothing happened. So let's get into the story about Aniyah Womack. Aniyah Womack out here in beautiful sunny Florida, right when we're turning a point to head into summer. The story goes like this. So the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office is investigating a case where a woman was shot and then dropped off at a local hospital overnight on Wednesday. This happened about 9-10 days ago. She died hours later. Her family came by and identified her as Aniyah Womack, who's 19 years old. They said, "We love Aniyah so much. We love her so much." This is her grandmother, Gail Taylor. You know how grandmas are. They love you. They're the ones that cry for you when nobody else cries for you. Taylor and her family feel the circumstances leading to Aniyah's death makes no sense at all whatsoever. This family is seeking some justice. We're putting this video out there. Hopefully somebody that watches this video says, you know what? I got a conscience, man, and I know who did it. So I'm saying something. If you're seeing something or you know something, say something. So according to JSO, this is out of Jacksonville, officers were called to a place called Memorial Hospital around 12:30 a.m. on that Wednesday. They had a gunshot victim that had come into the hospital. Now, you know, gunshot victims come to the hospital, they normally call the police as well. Okay. Taylor said that she and Womack spoke over the phone. This is her grandma. She and Womack spoke over the phone just 6 hours before then. They asked her, well, what did your granddaughter say? Was she sounding like she was in trouble? Where was she? You know? Grandma said, she said that she was going to be home today. So that's what we were here waiting for. We were here waiting on her to come home, said Taylor. Okay, which tells me that she's not home all the time. If I got to call home and I'm saying I'll be home today, it means I probably wasn't home yesterday, or I'm not usually home every day. Now, she is a graduate. She's a high school graduate, class of 2021. She graduated. So she's 19 years old. She's probably spending nights or days here and there. You know how that goes already, right? All right. Her family said that Womack was with a group of people who they believe are not speaking up. Here's another advice for you. You better make sure that your family knows the people that you hang around, just in case one of them decides to go rogue. Your family could at least say, well, she was with John and Marcus, and we know both of them, and we know their family as well, right? It's just like going out, jumping in a strange car nobody has ever seen with a person nobody has ever seen. That's the last thing they'll hear about you if anything goes wrong. Well, she jumped in a car that we ain't never seen before. We remember that the car is red, but we never seen it before. We don't know what kind of car it is. Who was driving? Well, it was a person we ain't never seen before either. Don't go making any of those kinds of moves right there. I'm just saying. I ain't telling everybody to be paranoid. I'm just telling you to be careful out here, right? So her family said that she was with a group of people who they believe are not speaking up. So the preliminary information that came out of this to JSO says that they brought officers to the intersection of Trednick Parkway and Monument Road. That's the location where the officers first went because they started doing their little investigations. She was dropped off at the hospital. So they found the people who dropped her off at the hospital. They started questioning them. And based on the information they gave them, it led the police to Trednick Parkway and Monument Road. JSO said that there was no scene at the intersection, but the police said that somewhere in that area, she was picked up by a man and a woman, and they dropped her off about 15 minutes away from that location to the hospital. The police are still questioning the people that dropped her off, and the updated information is that these two people, they don't know if they are involved, or they don't know if these two people are just good Samaritans that saw this young lady on the sidewalk and she was laying there injured, and they picked her up and rushed her to the hospital. This is what the story seems like so far. The story seems like these are two good Samaritans who found her on the sidewalk at this location about 15 minutes away from the hospital, and they picked her up and brought her to the hospital. But the police has to do their investigations, because we've seen these stories before. An uncle and an auntie realized that their nephew had done something bad, so they jumps in. They told the nephew, get ghost, lay low. They took the individual. A gun had went off, and they took the individual and they brought the individual to the hospital, and they told the police, we don't know his name. We never seen him before. It turns out that couple that brought that young man to the hospital was related to the young man whose gun accidentally discharged and subsequently killed his friend, who they all knew. So the police is doing their due diligence, trying to figure out what's the connection between these two people that dropped her off at the hospital. I'm thinking so many things, y'all. Her family says, we want to know, where's her stuff? She had all her stuff. Now I'm thinking, why would she have all her stuff? Was she kicked out? Was her family going through issues with her? Where is her stuff? Where are her friends that she was with, that she was hanging out with? This sounds to me like she was spending some time with some friends. Any accident, you stay by your side, by your friend's side. This is what her family is saying, right? It's one of her cousin, Autumn Redding, Womack's cousin. She was saying what kind of friends she got, and where are they? Because we're sure she was with some people. She was hanging out, she was having fun with some people. And it was all good. She didn't have no complaints. She just spoke to grandma about 6 hours ago saying she coming home today. So everybody was waiting for her to come home today. Where are those friends? If anything, and it was an accident, if you're a friend, you stick by the side of your friend. You don't run and leave them, dump them on the sidewalk for strangers to find them and try to rescue them. You stick by them. You give their family a story. Police said that right now it's unclear if the people who dropped her off were just good Samaritans or if they were actual suspects. So whoever dropped her off did not give the hospital her real name or any name at all. They dropped her off under the guise that we don't really know this young lady. So the family got to the hospital between 1 and 2 a.m. and they said that Womack died at 4 a.m. So they had 2 to 3 hours with her before she passed. But apparently, she was unresponsive. When they got there, she was just not dead yet. She was in bad shape. Under the circumstances, it's no reason we're providing a name for her after she passes. Her cousin said, we definitely want to make sure that her life is represented, to know that they took somebody special from us, and we're going to do whatever we can to make sure that we get some justice. Her cousin said that Womack was supposed to be starting a new job on Wednesday. Womack's sister told News4Jax, Jacksonville news station, that she was the life of the party. She was a bubbly, vivacious, funny person who laughed a lot and had people around her cracking up all the time. She was just that kind of person. She didn't deserve this. She didn't deserve to be shot and left at the hospital. So the family at this moment is asking for prayers, and the family is also saying that they're depending on social media and they're depending on the public to help them to come up with a suspect, to come up with something that could lead to them getting some justice for their beloved family member. They also had a GoFundMe set up for her funeral costs. So if you want to help with the GoFundMe, then just look for the Aniyah Womack GoFundMe page and donate as you can. You know, it's sad, man. Blonde Bomb says, damn, this is truly sad. Someone knows. Please come forward with the info. The sad thing is, this is a shooting and somebody died, and you know how young people are. Even if it's an accident, they immediately start thinking, damn, I'm going to prison for life, because they're not going to believe that it's an accident, that she got shot. So, and probably it wasn't an accident. So asking people to come forward, that never works. I've never seen in my entire life family and friends plead for whoever did this, please come forward, and somebody actually came forward. So that ain't going to work. Susie Q says, prayers that Jesus will speak up soon, since he watched it happen. Yeah, let's hope so. Flat Girl says, my condolences to her family, and I have questions myself. 2 years out of high school, did she live at home with her family, or did she have her own apartment? Was she living with someone or staying with someone? My son lived with me, his mom, until he graduated from college and was out on his own. He always had the courtesy of telling me where he was at and what he was doing with who. That should be a requirement if you let an adult child who is 18 or over, or an adult relative, reside at your home. You still exercise some level of accountability. They still got to tell you where they're going, who they're going with, and when they're coming back. Hopefully, JSO can track where she was by tracking her phone records through Google and looking at her Facebook postings, her Instagram, her social media. Lots of apartments around Trednick Parkway and Monument Road, but generally it's a quiet area. Again, my condolences goes out to the family. Very good point made right there. And I wanted to read that comment just to say this. Where's her cell phone? That is what they're asking. Where are her things? Where's her cell phone? Because the police can actually track her cell phone and see where her last location was, possibly who last she spoke to, all that. And this person made perfect sense. See, we still got to hold on to the ways of grandma and grandpa, right? Grandma and grandpa didn't play around. Like, if you under this roof, you going to abide by my rules. When you get your own place, you can do what you want to do. Ain't nobody pushing my door at 2 a.m. in the morning coming in my house. That kind of stuff. we still have to abide by that. But different strokes for different folks. I ain't telling anybody how to live. I'm just saying it saves lives. And the elders know why they did what they did, how they did it. I'm going to leave this one right here, man. Her name is Aniyah Womack. Say her name and hope and pray her family gets some justice. I'll catch y'all on the next video. It's Hot Topics TV. Y'all already know if the topic is hot, we're on it. Hit that subscribe button. I'm out. Peace.